Ivy Pro Bikini ladies.
All right. Hi, guys. It has been a hot minute, but your girl is back. I needed some time to get back on my feet, and now I'm ready to have a chit chat, all things bodybuilding, and just talk about my experience with prep, what show day was like, and post show and where I'm at now. So let's get into it. It has been 3 months and I believe 2 weeks or 3 weeks since my last show, which was Nationals in Melbourne. Now, I went through a roller coaster of emotions since my last show, and I just really needed to take time for myself to gather my thoughts because I couldn't even speak without having a meltdown. I was not in the right mindset. I went into a little bit of a slump, but like I said, we're back and I'm ready to talk about it. But let me take you back to when I first made the decision of me wanting to do this and how I got into the sport. So if you don't already know, my partner Dimmy, he is a pro bodybuilder and he's been competing for 10 years. He is unreal. When I met him, he was actually in the end part of his prep. So talk about great timing, Mad Dog. Yes, but he's not like me. He can control his emotions. So we were all good with that. A lot of our dates, it's like us going on long walks. And I was just so fascinated by it. I was always fascinated with bodybuilding. I didn't understand it very much though. Like I didn't really know the lifestyle of a bodybuilder, what that looks like. Yeah, I didn't know much about it. So meeting Dimmy, I was by his side 24/7. So I saw what that looked like and I was like, wow, this is crazy, but I like it and I want a taste of it. So I decided for myself that I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this a go. I come from a very strong dance background. I've been dancing since I was 2. Before school, Mum would wake me up at 5 a.m. and she would stretch the crap out of me. I had to stretch every morning before I went to school. When you're young, all you want to do is see your friends at school. So yeah, I stretched early in the morning, went to school, and then went straight to dancing. And I would pass out in the car. Dad would pick me up, have my ballet shoes, my jazz shoes on, and then he would lift me up into bed. And that was my life. I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed with the craziness around boot camp and looking after your body and fitness. And we had food diaries and just creating good habits. Obviously, with that, as you get older, with the people that coach you through those types of sports, it can go down the wrong road, which for me it did. Eating disorders, body image issues, all of that stuff. So looking and learning about bodybuilding, I was like, wow, it's not about restricting and starving yourself and, you know, getting to a sick look. It's about building your body. I was excited for that challenge, pushing myself to the extreme and being the best that I possibly can. And to get to that goal or to be the best version of yourself, you have to go through the hard yards. I was like, yeah, I want to do it. I want to feel that. I want to see how far I can push myself. And it wasn't so much like a physical thing. It was more so like a mental challenge for myself and setting myself that goal at the start of the year, writing it down and sticking to it and finishing it. That is what I was interested to see if I could do and pull through right to the end. Because, you know, it's like anything. You start a diet, the first few days, first week, it's like, yeah, this is chill. I got it. And then 2 weeks down the road, you're like, oh, but what if I just, but no, you can't do that with bodybuilding. You gotta tick all the boxes. So yeah, that's pretty much how I decided, yeah, you know what, I want to give this a go. And once I told Dimmy, we then got into prep and looked at my food, looked at my training, yada, 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 did all of that. And then the posing came in. I thought I would have it down pat. I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. The posing is going to be the easiest part. I've been dancing my whole life. Like, I've got good coordination. Boy, was I wrong. I went to a workshop with a few other girls. It was an open workshop for bikini, and I think I lasted maybe about like 15 minutes, and then I packed up my things and I left. I was like Bambi in that room. There's so many things that you're thinking about. You're trying to flare your lats, you're trying to, you know, get those shoulders capped but not come up in your traps, and then twist in the waist and hold yourself up, but you don't want to lean too far forward, you don't want to lean too far back, but you also want to see the lines in your quads and your hammies and your glutes and have everything just popping out, but you got to do it with a smile on your face. And there's just so much to think about, and when you're not used to it, you're shaking, you're like this. I was like, man, I can't do this. I cannot do this. Messaged my female coach, Mel, who was helping me with the posing, and I was like, I'm out. I can't do this. She was like, you're not out. I'm not allowing this to happen. You're doing it. And I'm so glad that I had that support around me with Mel, my posing coach. And then Dimmy, my partner, he coached me with my training and my food. They pulled me up so many times when I was doubting myself. They just kept reminding me that I set out this goal and I said I wanted to finish it, and that's exactly what I need to do. So as the months went on, the food obviously started to get stricter, which I didn't have any issues with the food. Funny story, so if you know, you know. I've been vegan for 7 years, and at the start of last year, I was like, well, something needs to change in my diet. I'm sick of all this fake protein and all the soy products. It's not good for you. So I was like, what can I change in my diet? That's also not going to hurt the animals. So I added in pasteurized eggs into my diet. If you have me on Instagram, you would have seen that I was going through egg whites like a mad woman. I was the one stealing all the eggs. I was the one. I will try find a photo somewhere, because I'm sure of it that I have a photo in my camera roll of my fridge being full of egg whites and cottage cheese, because they're the two dairy products that I added into my diet to get a bit more protein in. And I was having 600 grams of egg whites a day. I kid you not, 600 grams of egg whites. And you bet, as soon as I finished prep, egg whites went out the window, out of the house. I'm only now just getting back into them again. So that was a whole wild journey with my eggs. I had session after session with Mel. The posing was getting better each week, each month. I'll try and find a video, but I would walk. You're not meant to walk like sexy walk with your hips. You're meant to walk, you know, drag your foot from the back to the front, but like not drag the toe, like don't scrape it, but then also get the hips going like forward that way rather than up and down. And for the life of me, I could not. One thing that I was not prepared for with prep is the amount of times you need to go to the toilet in the middle of the night. The carbs are coming down and the water is just flushing straight through. So every hour of the night, I would have to go to the toilet. And the work that I do, I wake up at either 3:30 or 4:30 a.m. And it was not a fun time. I would wake up like a zombie because I wasn't getting a proper full sleep. So that was probably one of the hardest things for me, I honestly think, with prep, is getting up every hour needing to pee. And it wasn't even like a little, it was full waterfall happening in there. Being cold all the time, I wasn't prepared for that. Having holes underneath my armpits when shaving, wasn't prepared for that. Throughout prep, I was trying to be really self-conscious and aware with how I was talking to myself and not looking at my body too much in the mirror, because the thing is with bodybuilding, it's all about delayed gratification, and you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see that you're ready literally until 2 weeks before you're on stage. 2 weeks. You're in prep for 6 months, 6+ months, and you don't see it until the 2 weeks before you're on stage. Just think about that. Now, in saying that, when I received my bikini, and it is the most beautiful thing ever, I cried when I opened it because I was like, I was taken back. Mind you, it is an $1,000 bikini. $1,000. They say prep isn't just about prepping your body, it's about prepping your bank account too, because you don't actually realize how expensive bodybuilding is. It's like a full-blown holiday. If you're ever thinking of doing it, prep your bank account as well. I took it out. I was in awe of it. As soon as I put it on my body, I was in tears. Called mom. I was like, I can't go on stage looking like this. This looks horrible on me. This isn't how it looks on all the other girls. Why does it look like this on me? Called my boyfriend, said the same thing. Messaged so many of my beautiful girlfriends that I met through the workshop, and I was sending them photos. I was like, is this how it's meant to look? Messaged the company. I was like, guys, this isn't it. This is horrible. It wasn't them. It was me. I was the issue. I don't know what blinders I had on. I had no carbs in me. No carbs whatsoever. I was in full-blown depletion stage. So that's why I was acting that way. The tan also, it just pulls everything together. It really does wonders. It also makes you feel like you're wearing clothes as well by having that much tan on you, which makes it a little bit more comfortable when you're up on stage in front of everyone. Yeah, looking back at that now, I get sad thinking about it, because I was so excited to like have that moment to myself with my bikini and just be so proud of how far I had come. And I just felt like absolute crap. And I convinced myself that I wasn't gonna go on stage. That's one main thing that I have learned throughout all of this, is that it doesn't matter what stage you are at in bodybuilding, your fitness journey, in life, like your body is constantly changing. It's constantly changing. It's going through different phases. You're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be happy. I wasn't happy with my body before. I wasn't fully, truly happy with it during prep. I wasn't happy with how I looked side stage before I went on stage. 3 months down the line, after my national show, hated how I looked, and I'm still not happy with how I look. If I don't stay on top of my schedule and the things that I know that make me feel good and strong and make me tick off my own boxes and finish the goals that I set out for the day or for the month or for the year, whatever it may be, if I don't have those stepping stones put in place, I'm gonna lose it mentally. I'll come back to that later because I'm going on a little bit of a tangent. Let me finish off prep. The last 2 weeks of prep, I was in depletion. So like I mentioned, carbs were super, super low. Water was high. I was flushing everything out, peeing every hour of the night. And we were in zombie mode. It's really funny. So I got my tan done 2 days before being on stage. So I had to get a tan. I had to get the tan done on the Thursday. It was like Thursday afternoon, my first coat. And like I said, I needed to pee all the time. And I was aware of this. And I went to the toilet before I drove to get the tan done. It was a 45-minute drive, and it was through the tunnel for most of the drive. There's no toilet. You can't stop anywhere in a tunnel. And what happened to Mad Dog? As I was driving, I got this big, strong wave of needing to go pee, didn't I? Anyway, made it to the tanning place. I forget to pee because I'm now naked. So I'm like sucking everything in, and I'm like, I'm just in front of this lady getting my tan done. So that's all I'm thinking about. I forget about me needing to pee. I get changed, quickly put my clothes on, run out of there, with my tail between my legs. And then I start driving and I'm like, oh my goodness, why didn't I pee? I need to pee, but I look like an Oompa Loompa right now with like 20 layers of tan on me. I was so dark. I had tan everywhere. I wouldn't even be allowed to use the toilet because I would just get it everywhere. So yeah, I am holding on for my life to the point that I was shivering. I was like, when driving, I had goosebumps all over my body. I needed to go so bad. Anyway, we made it. But as soon as I got through my door, it was like coming out of me as I leaped onto my toilet. I kid you not. I'm not being dramatic. Oh, that was horrible. And then I had the worst stomachache for like the next hour because I was holding on for that long. Finally got some carbs in the next day. So from having like, I'm not going to tell you, but from having very, very, very little carbs, let's just say 2 digits, to then bumping it up to 200, 250, 300, I was cheering. I was so happy. It just felt so good to eat carbs again. I was having rice flour, dates, peanut butter, rice again. It was the best thing ever. And show day comes. My suitcase is packed. I'm ready to go. Now, I competed with A&B in New South Wales. There's different categories that you can compete in. You've got your bikini, which I did. You've got your fitness, which I also did. Your wellness, swimsuit, and sports model. So you've got 5. Now, the reason why I did 2 was just because I didn't know what my body would look like towards the end. Like I said, you don't know until you're 2 weeks, 1 week, a few days out. It was also my first time, so I was like, why not? See where I fit into. And because I did that, show day was hectic. So as soon as I went, I collected my number and got another few layers of tan. Then I got my hair and makeup done, which that was 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And they did an amazing job, may I just add. Like, I look like Barbie. I was like, what the heck? I have never seen myself look like that ever. Now, side stage, you're meant to be relaxing, lying on your back, legs up against the wall, just to get all the information out. And then we're eating sugary carbs throughout and you're pumping up closer until you're on stage. Because there were so many things happening backstage with getting ready and the show was moving very smoothly and running on time, I was like, holy shit, I'm on stage soon for fitness. And I think the ladies that were getting me ready, I think they thought I was doing bikini, which was right at the end of the show, which is so fine, not on them. But I was running late to be on stage. So I think I only had 15 minutes to pump up and to get carbs in me. So Dimmy's shoving down 10 LCM bars in my mouth. He was then putting honey in, dates. I think I had like 10 dates. I had like 20 sour straps. He was just carving me up and he was like, keep going. And I was pumping up. And then the veins were starting to come out. And I was like, okay, here we go. But I felt so ill. And then I was so anxious because I was being rushed. And then I was seeing the girls that I was going on stage with for fitness. And I was like, holy crap, this isn't my category. They were unreal. Now, you want a fuller look with your muscles, but you want to be, it's a fuller look, but way more defined than bikini. Yeah, you want to see those lines, but it's more of a softer, petite look. Whereas these women, they were insane. I was like, I can't go on. This isn't my category. Now, in saying that, I'm so glad that I got it wrong because it was such a good little warm up for me for bikini because I was absolutely shitting myself. I was side stage and I was like, I'm not going on. And I get pushed on stage and she's like, you're on. Yeah, so as soon as I walked on stage though, that natural smile came onto my face straight away because I love being on stage. Like I said, I've danced my whole life. That was one thing I was so excited for, was just being back up on stage. My mum, my whole family, they came to support, and mum said she was like, it was so nice seeing little Maddie up on stage again. and I felt it as well. And it just, it was the best feeling ever. It was so good. Although I was still shitting myself. So I was on stage, and you're meant to hold yourself up, you know, light squeeze of the muscles, but you're at that lean stage where like you don't need to tense. Here I am going like, and then I started shaking. They can't see me shaking. I can feel myself shaking, but because I'm shaking and tensing way too hard over time, I'm then dripping. I am drenched. Came off stage. I was like, okay, well, we know this category isn't for me. And he was like, yeah. He was like, okay, clean yourself up, get back into it. You've got bikini. So I think I had another 20 minutes, 25 minutes until I was back on stage again. Now, because I already pumped up so much for fitness and I carb loaded so with the sugary carbs, I already hit my peak. So then I started to come, it didn't matter how many times I would pump up or how many things I would eat. Like I just couldn't hit that same peakness that I had for fitness, which it wasn't the best thing for me, but I didn't need that really big fuller look. So it was okay. We made do. Anyway, there were 22 amazing girls in bikini. And I was like, holy crap, there are so many girls. How are we going to fit on this stage? Walked on stage. I did so well, got a few firsts, few seconds. And because I was doing really well, they kept calling me up. And it was very tight between the top three. And I got second overall for the whole thing, which I was so happy with, and I couldn't believe it because I went in with no expectations. I had no idea how I would go. I just wanted to enjoy it, which I did enjoy it. I loved every second of it. My feet, on the other hand, though, did not. My feet were in agony. The top three, we were standing up on stage. Now, they only usually give a pro card to first overall, but they gave out the pro card to the top three, and I couldn't believe it. When they said that, I was like, wait, what? I was sitting there, I was like, wait, what? Me? I get a pro card? I get a pro card doing my first ever bodybuilding competition, and I received my pro card. Did you get the number right? Me? I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. That, like, I didn't even think of that happening because it was just so out of touch for me. Placing, I didn't even think I would place, let alone receive my pro card. So that was such a surreal experience. Then as soon as I walked off stage, I collapsed on the floor. My feet were so dead. They were in that much pain, you know, after a really long night out that you can't even walk on your feet anymore. That's exactly how I felt. Yeah, I was just in shock for the rest of the day. It was crazy. So I arrived at the theater, I think it was 7:30, and we left at 4 p.m. It was a very, very long, intense day, but wouldn't change it for the world. And I will do it again and again and again. Went to a beautiful restaurant afterwards to celebrate, and I could not stomach anything. After eating all of those LCM bars, dates, I was like, nah, I'm good. I just want to go to bed. I was so exhausted, and it was an hour drive back home. Now, I was meant to work the day after, and I'm so glad that I got someone to cover it because my body was so sore from my neck all the way down to my toes. I felt like a truck had hit me and run me over, forward, back. And because I didn't get to, you know, have the cheeky little donuts and stuff like that afterwards, because I just wanted to go to bed, I celebrated with my friend Eliza, and you bet I had everything you could think of. I had donuts, I had a burrito, I had chocolate, I had yochi. Yeah, your girl went crazy. Now, because I won my pro card, that now means I can compete at a pro level and I can compete around the world, which is amazing. And there's money to be won, and it's just a whole another ball game, and the pro athletes are just incredible. Because I won that, Demi was like, okay, well, now you're going to go to Melbourne and do the national show there. And I was like, God, I didn't even think of that. Like, I've just been eating whatever I wanted. Everyone was telling me, do it, Maddie, do it. You're going to regret it. And Demi was like, who cares what you ate? If anything, it's going to benefit you. And I was like, what? What do you mean? He was so right. He was so right. Again, that little voice in my head was like, you've eaten this. Oh my God, you're going to explode. You're going to look so big the next day. La, 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 la. I didn't. Oh my God. I'll post a photo of what I look like the next day. The veins were coming out of me like no tomorrow. And that just goes to show what food does for the body. Wild. So yeah, the next day, back on track, we brought the calories down, not as low as what they were when I went on stage the first time, but we did bring them down again. I went straight into depletion, made it to Melbourne. It was a whole different experience. I was way more relaxed. I actually got to lie down on my back with my legs up against the wall for like 2 hours. I was listening to music. I was calm. There was no rushing. I didn't need to eat as much as I did the first day, which means I didn't feel sick. And the pump that I got was wild. We played around with the food a little bit differently the second time round, and it worked so well in my favor. Oh my goodness. My glutes were so full. And yeah, I came in way leaner this second time than the first time, which is crazy because you're like, how can your body change that quickly in 5 days? It does, and it can. So I'm so glad that I stuck it out because the experience was even better. There were 8 amazing pro girls that I was against, and I came fourth. In my first pro show. Yeah, I was just so proud of myself. I was so much more confident on stage as well. And I was just so happy to be back on stage. And the girls that I met with the first and the second show are friends for life. Like, I'm so used to that dancer competitive world that I thought backstage would be like this too. Everyone just, tunnel vision on, just out for themselves. It's not like that. On stage, yeah, you're like that. You're walking up fast. You're ready to pose. Which that's one thing I learned from the national show. I was taking my time. My thing is like, I like to spread my lats because I am very good at I'll try to get a video up if I can find one, getting my lats out and then seeing my back go, and then I hold it as I bring my arms up. Like, that's my little signature thing that I do. And yeah, when it comes to the pro stage, you want to get to the front first, and you want to hold it, and you're holding there, and everyone else is then slowly walking up behind. And that's one thing I learned with doing the pro show, and that was the whole reason why I did it. And that's what my mum said to me, and that's what pushed me over the line. She said, Maddie, do it because you never know what you're going to learn. And I was like, you're right. And I learned so much. So thank you, Mom. But yeah, the girls that I met, so beautiful, so supportive. And I think it's because you all know what you've been through for 6+ months with prep. And then you finally get this moment to be on stage and show everyone what you've worked for and everything that you've gone through. You finally get to just show that off. And it's a really special moment. Oh, also, Demi came with me to National, so he competed, and of course he crushed it. We went to a beautiful Italian restaurant afterwards. Where it all went south was at 4 a.m. the next morning. I woke up because I couldn't breathe and I couldn't swallow my saliva because my throat was that swollen. I still don't fully know what the heck I had, but during prep with my food, you get a little bit of an intolerance to things because your body's in such a fragile state and you're eating the same foods all the time. So whenever I would have almonds, I would get a little bit itchy with my throat. And those who don't know, I'm a little bit allergic to avocado, but I still eat it. I just get itchy in my throat and my lips swell up, which is just like, free lip fillers for whatever. I'll take it. And that's what I would get with almonds. When we went out to dinner, there were some nuts on the meals that we had. So I was like, oh no, am I having a reaction to nuts right now? But I was like that, talking like that, mumbling my words because I couldn't even talk. I couldn't open my mouth and get the words out because I was just that swollen and in pain. So then I called my mum at 4 a.m. crying, being like, oh. And then Dimmy's like, why are you calling your mum and freaking her out? Like, what is she going to do? Mum's in Sydney. Anyway, as the day went on, I think it was just a flu or a really bad case of the cold. I have no idea, but I started to then get the body aches, the fevers, I was sweating, but it was bad. It was really, really bad. It took me out. It took me 2 weeks to fully get over it. But then that means I wasn't training for 2 weeks. Now, because I won my pro card and I did a pro show, that now means I can compete globally. I can go anywhere with that. And Dimmy was always going to Houston, and that was 2 weeks after nationals. And he said, look, if you enjoy it and you want to do if you want to do worlds with me, you can. That was in the back of my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, like that would be such a cool experience. Why not push for a third one? I honestly think my body was like, I'm done, because 2 shows in 2 weeks is a lot, let alone 3. I was a little bit gutted about it, but I also was like, you know what? I want to be on the other side and just sit in the audience and support Dimmy at Worlds, which I was so happy I did that. Oh, I could breathe again. Hallelujah. That was a really cool experience watching the Worlds. Dimmy did amazing. He came second in Worlds. I was so proud of him. And then started to live a normal life again, going out to dinner. Now this is where I started to lose it. I did not reverse diet whatsoever. And Dimmy warned me. He said at the start of all of this, he said, now the hardest thing for you is probably going to be afterwards. You can put on weight very easily because you're in that fragile state. You've been cutting for so long, eating the same foods for so long, training hard, cardio, steps. You got to keep that up. Did I know? I didn't train for nearly 2 months. Nearly 2 months I did not train because I was in such a state mentally that I couldn't bring myself to going to the gym and others seeing me the way that I looked in my mind. It was summertime. I was wearing trackies. I was wearing oversized tees because I just didn't want anyone to see my body. I was just in such disgust with myself because I was like, how have I gotten to this point where all I was doing and breathing and thinking about and dreaming about was all the things that I just stopped? I was like, how does that make sense? Like, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I got into a really bad cycle with my eating. I wouldn't eat all day and then I would binge eat of a nighttime. And as soon as I would start eating, I couldn't stop because my body, it was starving. It was hungry after what I just put it through. But then I wasn't feeding it the right foods. And of course, if you're feeding yourself bad food, you're gonna think poorly of yourself. That's just how it works. I'm not ticking any of the boxes off. I'm not staying consistent with anything. I dropped everything all at once. So my body was freaking out. My mind was freaking out. I didn't know who I was. I felt so detached from my body. And I just felt like someone else took over it. And I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop this cycle. So yeah, I was like that for 2 months. And we're finally out of it. And here we are. I'm feeling good again. I'm feeling like myself again. I'm back on track with everything. I'm hitting my steps. I'm training hard. I'm putting on muscle. The muscle that I have gained since has been crazy. Just because the intensity of my training is like through the roof now. I'm using the food for fuel so I can build the muscle that I want to build. So yeah, you're probably asking, Maddie, where does this leave you? Are you doing another competition? I am. And I'm going to be doing 2 this year just because I feel like I didn't finish it off properly. I was still ticking off the boxes, don't get me wrong, but I probably ticked off 15 out of 20. I didn't push it right to the end. And because I did so well for my very first time competing, I'm like, what if I did tick all those boxes? What if I did make it to the end? I could have been unstoppable. I have 6, nearly 7 months until my next show. So that's plenty of time to grow way more muscle. I'm in my building phase now. We're hitting PBs. I'm lifting the heaviest I've ever lifted in my whole life. I'm like, what? God damn, where did I get these superpowers from? Because honestly, I feel unstoppable right now. We'll start the cut process later down the road. I want to keep competing because I want to bring a better physique as well. I don't want to go up looking the same. Oh, did you hear my stomach? I'm going to be eating after this. I want to bring a better physique and a different one too. I know the areas that I need to work on. Dimmy is by my side, but I'm also going to be using his coach. His coach is unreal. He was at nationals and he was giving me little pointers as well, which helped me a lot. And he just has so much knowledge. So I can't wait to work with him. I'm very excited. And it also means I can't argue with him too. There were so many times that I was arguing with Dimmy and like I knew the things that I needed to do, but he would tell me and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. But then I'd do it later. But I just didn't want to be told what to do. So I'm excited to not be able to argue and to do all the things and to have that accountability a little bit more. I learned so much. I learned so much through this crazy journey that I never thought I would finish. I've learned so much about myself, about my body, how far I can push myself. I learned the importance of macronutrients over calories, the true meaning of delayed gratification and what that looks like and what that feels like. I learned the power of your mind. I learned the real importance of setting goals, writing them down, looking back at them, and ticking off those boxes, because it's the little stepping stones that are going to get you to that point. And again, that's delayed gratification. Like you're not going to see it. I didn't see it for 6+ months. So many times I was like, I'm not going to make it. I can't see anything. I can't see it different. It's not until the last few days you see it. And then you're up on that stage. But I'll definitely keep sharing my journey. And it's also just something that I can look back on as well and be proud of it and be like, yeah, I did that. If you have any questions and you want me to give more detail on anything else that I briefly spoke about, because there was a lot that I jam-packed into this video, please let me know. 2026, big goals, big gains, and I can't wait to hit the stage again. Thanks for listening. Bye guys.